From backyard Barbies to volunteer halls, you can hear that spirit in the weekend calls. Doesn't take gold, just a soul that cares. They're doing good stuff everywhere.
We've just been talking to Ross Stevenson, who has gone off to enjoy his holiday, but Ian Cobra is still with us. And the reason we wanted to have you here for this bit, Ian, is we talk about doing good stuff, and you are very heavily involved with an organisation who are have been doing really good stuff for years and years and years.
That's Cottage by the Sea.
Indeed.
In fact, 135 years.
Do you remember when they got set up, Rob?
Yeah. Rob
I do.
Yeah.
I was there.
It's one of the originals.
He's one of the first teachers down there. In fact, that's why I was up at Ararat last weekend. Because,
they spread their wings that far.
Well, I'm involved with a little group that we created down there to support Cottage by the Sea called the Rippers, because it looks out over the Rip. And with my friend Phil DeFagley, you might have encountered Phil around the traps. He's a very good auctioneer. He's the best in the business, has been for years. Remember when Rebecca Judd wore that dress that made her famous to the Brownlow, the first red dress? That was later auctioned for charity. And Phil was the auctioneer all those years ago. Got $28,000 for it. There you go. Everywhere you go with Phil, someone, hello, Phil, this is Rob Cameron. And Rob will say, yeah, you got me one night for 500, you know. So anyway, he's got he comes from Ararat, Phil, and he's still a brother running a property up there. Well, his son actually runs it more. So that's Phil's nephew. And he's been inspired by hearing what we did down here. So he's got people in Ararat over the last 18 months raising money to be able to send kids from schools in Ararat for a camp at Cottage by the Sea. So what happens, about year 5 age school children, for various reasons, might be struggling or whatever, or come from disadvantage or underprivileged, whatever, and a week at the cottage just changes their lives. And it's... So they've been seeing some kids from down and they want to keep it going like that. So last Saturday morning, I was on community radio. I was actually on real-time radio because I was doing the Ace Radio Network. We're broadcasting from the old J ward at the Ararat Jail, and about 15 local identities were locked up for the morning and they had to raise money to get out. And Phil's nephew, Rich, was a big driver of that, as was the Ace Radio Network, and Rolly Patterson, Rolly and Judy, who you might know them. They run the Ace Radio Network. And so when I did, they raised about $25,000 getting people out of jail. And I did a half an hour with 2 blokes up there that do a sports show on their call. They call themselves the Shirt Front Boys. A bit more active than 2 blokes chatting. And of course, I only met them as Cougs and Eastie.
They probably deliberately set out to do a radio program. We were told to fill in for 3 weeks. That's why the 2 blokes chatting is 2 blokes chatting.
And the last time I was up there, they also had Cobber as one of the hosts, but the Cobber's moved on, I think.
Yeah. Now, Ian,
we went to the footy, because during the afternoon at the footy, they had a ladies' high tea, and after the netball, they all dressed up, all looked like they're going to Logies or the Brownlow, and there was about 120 there, and there was all these little high tea things with the cakes and the scones all...
Very much like going around his place for coffee.
Well, the cakes and the scones were largely untouched, but the bubbles got a fair workout. And so Phil and I talked to them, and look, great. The principal of one of the schools got up to tell the assembled gathering there about how the kids had been down to Cottage by the Sea, what a wonderful experience been. Then had 3 girls who are now in grade 6. They went down last year, and they each read out their own little thing about it. And one of the girls said, the best part about it was going to the beach, because I've never seen the beach, never been to the beach. You can understand, living in Ararat. But we get kids from the western of Melbourne, never been to the beach. And they go in, even at this time of the year. You all have to go in. They got wetsuits provided and stuff, and they go in. They won't come out because they're going in the water. It's just fantastic. So
certainly stories about children from Central Australia that have that experience and can't believe it.
And no government funding in 135 years.
So
it has to all be raised.
So if people want to support Cottage by the Sea, what can they do?
In the modern way, Neil, you go to Cottage by the Sea, just go to the website and follow the links and you can donate there. You can also look at the Rippers Instagram account as well if you want. We have
look at you being all modern.
Well, we have a younger person, Lucy, in our group, and Lucy's very good with that sort of stuff. So she set up the Insta account. And we do we're just but one group that supports Cottage by the Sea. There are groups all through Melbourne. There's auxiliaries and there's all sorts of service clubs and all that continually raise money. In fact, we talked about this I think last year because it was the first show for the year in January. We were having the big fair they have in the first Saturday every year in January. And one of the great supporters worth a shout out here is Glenn Harvey.
Yeah.
Glenn's just been a marvellous band around Geelong.
Is there a better retail outlet in Geelong than Harvey's at Highton?
It's magnificent, isn't it?
Extraordinary.
I think they
love going in there.
I think they hand polish every grape.
They do. Sometimes I'll just go in there and walk around, look at it, and go out again.
It's a work of art.
Incredible.
Has the restraining order been put out?
No, I'm going to see Miller. Actually, Miller works behind the counter at.
Not the person with using their surname as a first name.
If you're interested in that sort of presentation of fruit and veggies, there's a place just in Torquay called Peaches. You ought to go in there.
Pretty good.
Oh, that's a knockout to look at. You're scared to take something off because they might all tumble down.
There are other fruit shops, of course, around the district as well,
which
are all equally good.
And they're all good. Now, Cove, I want to take you back.
Glenn was actually then presented at the annual meeting last year at the Geelong Football Club with the Costa Carter Award.
Oh, yes.
Named after Frank and Colin Carter for the work. Always they recognise someone does great work in the community with a connection to the footy club. Glenn's provided fruit and veggies to the footy club for forever. So all the players they've got the best setup you've seen, and they've got the best fruit and veggies coming in. So there you go.
That's my subtle approach to Ted. You got
one.
there.
You had a question?
Yeah, I did. It was a night I saw you doing a combination of auctioneering and trivia host, and I think it was a former Geelong Football Club CEO, general manager at the time. You're auctioning something, and asked a trivia question of how many Brian Lara had made in a particular cricket match. To which says, you knew you were going to get this smarter. Yeah, 500. Yeah, we're 500 here from. That was a magnificent bit of work.
We better wrap it up.
Might have got it was a long time ago.
They walk into that one every time.
We better wrap it up because we do have another program coming up very shortly, Rob.
Oh, that's right. I've got to do another show.
But I'll do the weather. Don't worry about that.
Please do that.
Cover, thanks for being part of this circus. And
happy 300th. Oh, and look, I've got gifts for you too.
Excellent.
To mark your 300th, even if you've got them already. Here's the Coulter Beans books.
Excellent.
About 40 years of radio.
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. I do have a copy, but now I've got 2 copies, which is fantastic.
You can give it away to a listener.
We might do that. We'll stick around after 11. Rob will be here. Thanks, Cove. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.